Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Happy freaking Tuesday. I am going to pull this video up on my computer here so I can see everyone and so I can share this over into my free Facebook group. If you are not a part of it yet, it is called Millennial Business Babes Unfiltered. The name will be changing soon, so bear with me. But hello, Lua. Welcome. Hello. How are you today? So good to see you, Snashana, my girl. How are you? Hello. Okay, so I'm going to share this. If you're watching the replay or if you're watching us over on YouTube, which is where all of the... I'm going to turn this salt lamp off because I just feel like I don't like how pink I look with the salt lamp. But if you are watching the replay, feel free to scroll past the first minute and a half or so because I'm going to get started here. Thanks for bearing with me. Good morning, Courtney. Hello. How is everyone feeling today? How is your Tuesday going so far? Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning. Come hang. Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning. So good to see you here. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to chat with you guys this morning. Good morning, Michael. Okay, so I'm going to share this into the group and then we're going to get started, and I have so much to share with you guys today. Make sure to give me some love if you are loving this live. I know a lot of you guys yesterday on my post voted for me to talk about this topic specifically, so this is for you. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Celia. Hello. Having the loveliest day. So happy to be spending the day with you lovely people. So freaking happy that you are here. Oh my God, so good. Ooh, the moon is in Leo. What does that mean? I'm on fire today. Tell me what that means. I don't know what that means. So, a lot of you guys voted for this video yesterday, and I had such like an aha moment this weekend around money and around just how I relate it to really struggling with body dysmorphia. So we're going to do a little story time first with Olivia. Hello, good morning. And if you have any questions specifically, please make sure to post them below so I can get to those as well. But I really just kind of want to start with a story and then teach you kind of the lessons that I learned from it this weekend, and hopefully it will make sense in your brain like it does in mine. So this weekend, it was Black Friday weekend, obviously, right? It was Black Friday, Cyber Monday, there's all the deals, there's all the things. And so naturally I'm like, okay, cool. Perfect time to stock up on some skincare that I was needing, some supplements that I needed again, and a couple of outfits because my husband comes home in January and I haven't seen that man in 9 months. So I'm like, I need something new. I need some lingerie. I need a cute sweater to wear to pick him up. Like, I need the things. So I went to go buy the things and I had this sheer moment of panic of like, oh my God, do I really need these things? Do I need it? Do I just want it? Am I being stupid? Should I spend this money on something else? Should this go into savings? Oh my God, what if it should go here? And I started having this sheer panic and anxiety rush over me. Now, mind you, if you don't know this about me, like story time, right? I struggled with money for a very long time. So I was in network marketing for almost 3 years. I built up a very steady income in that for the 3 years I was there. And I was making consistent money every single month. It was coming in. I knew every Thursday morning how much money was going to be in my account. It was like, it happened in my sleep. I didn't even really have to try at that point. Very grateful for that. I worked very hard to get there. That happened, and then I decided to leave network marketing. I felt calling in my soul, if you've never heard my story before, of like, you're meant to do something else. Like, there's something more for you here. It's time for you to break free from the comfort zone, because like I told you, I was just this very comfortable kind of coasting from Thursday to Thursday, just kind of living without really trying, and I just realized like this isn't where I'm happy anymore. So I got called out of it and actually went to life coaching school, and I was a life coach for a little bit, and then from there people started coming to me for business, and so then I stepped into business coaching because it felt very natural and I had built successful businesses. So I was like, duh, why wouldn't I teach business? Like, I have to share this with people. So this happened, and so from leaving network marketing, right, making very consistent income, to then going into $0 a month, the company told me I had to choose. It was either my life coaching business or my network marketing business. I couldn't do both. Nothing bad happened with the company. There was no drama, I promise you that. I'm being totally honest with you. I just felt called out of it. And so I went from making a consistent $5,000 a month to then making $0 a month, and then had to rebuild from there. So as you can imagine, we went from living very comfy to then living very much so paycheck to paycheck, living on my husband's income. And it was a struggle. It really was. And I remember just like these moments of like going to the grocery store and being afraid that my credit card was going to decline, or being afraid that all the money was going to run out, or, we had months where we had to put things on credit cards that were like simple necessities that you need to live. And it was a really, really, really difficult time for us. Now, I am so aware that there are many people out there that struggle even greater than that. So I'm just speaking from my own personal experience, and hopefully you can see pieces of your story that you relate to in it. And we struggled really hard. I made it very clear on Facebook a couple weeks ago that I made, $1,000 total in the month of May this year, and then worked my way up, and I made a $17,000 gross before paying out my coaches and before paying out my team, $17,000 last month. So obviously, as you can tell, my income has grown very rapidly, but there was a year and a half in there or so where things really were a struggle. And I was paying out more than I was bringing in, and I was trying to just figure my life out, trying to get my bearings on finances, and feeling like I was constantly drowning. It was a very, very difficult year and a half or so for my husband and I. And so, as you can imagine, this past weekend, I'm doing some Black Friday shopping, and I had this moment of like, just pure guilt, and like my stomach just hurt, and I had like my heart racing of like, oh my God, I shouldn't do this. I really shouldn't be spending this money right now. And I had this moment of panic, and I voice messaged my best friend Autumn, and I was like, dude, why am I struggling so hard? The amount of money I want to spend is less than I spend on a coach per week. So why am I struggling with this? Like, paying for coaches and programs and my team and whatever, it's never a problem. It's like, duh, pay for it. Or buying gifts for my clients, or paying for them to go get a blowout, or paying for, my husband to get something, or paying for whatever it might be. It's so easy to pay for other people. But I had this pure anxiety and panic when I wanted to buy something for myself of like, I don't know if I should do this. And I started to have this feeling come over me of when I used to look at my bank account before I was making consistent income, and how I would literally look at my bank account like this. Oh God, what's it gonna say? And I would like feel hot and like nervous just looking at my bank account on the days where I would finally get myself to look at it, because I was so afraid it was gonna be zero, or it was gonna be in the negative, or things were gonna bounce, or whatever it might be, or we weren't gonna be able to, buy groceries that weekend, or whatever it was. I had this moment of like, oh my God, like this is really scary, right? And so it's so funny because the money is obviously there now, but I still go to my bank account. I'm getting to the point of this in a second. I still go to my bank account, or I still go to my PayPal and have this moment of panic of like, what if it's all gone? Can anyone relate to that? Can you relate to that feeling of like, maybe you're making money now, and you still have this moment of like, oh my God, what if there's nothing in there? What if it all left overnight? Or what if it ran out? Or what if no one else signs on as a client? Or what if someone's payment bounces? Or what if this? And what if I can't survive? And you start to have this moment of panic. And the reason that I related this to body dysmorphia is because I also was overweight. I was overweight before, and that's how I had gotten into network marketing. I lost a bunch of weight, and I felt amazing, but every time I looked in the mirror, I still saw the old me. I still saw the me that was 50 pounds overweight. I still saw the old me that struggled to fit into her clothes, that wanted to turn the lights off when I was being intimate with my husband, who wanted to hide from the world and not have photos taken because I felt so uncomfortable in my skin, right? And so even though I had lost weight, I was looking great. I wore a bikini on a vacation, and I still, every time I saw the pictures, would see the old me. I couldn't see what other people saw when they would say, you look so amazing. Oh my God, you look so great. What have you done? And it's like I couldn't see it for myself. And so while I saw that, and I still struggle with that, I still look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, like, oh, there's so much here, and and like I need to lose weight, and I need to do this. And it's a constant thing coming back to self-love, right? It's a constant journey coming back and remembering that we love ourselves no matter what we look like, and we've worked hard to get here, and we can celebrate that, and we can be here, and we can see that, and all of these things, right? Totally different live video, totally different topic. But I had this moment where I was like, oh my God, it's the same thing. It's like bank account dysmorphia. It's like money dysmorphia, where I'm still living in the struggle in my mind, where the money still making a significant amount more than I've ever made in my entire life. Like I've surpassed, I always wanted to get to 10K months. That was like my goal. And I was like, once I get to 10K months, I'll be made. That's it. That's all I need, right? 10K months. And then I got to 10K months and I was like, well, now let's do more. Like, duh. So then it was 12 and then it was 17, right? And it's this idea that we always need more and it's never enough. When we lose weight, we keep wanting to lose more and more and more until some of us start to wither away, right? Because it's never enough. We want to have more sex with our husband. We go from having sex once every other week to having sex every other night, and it's still not enough. Because what is enough? One of my mentors asked me this last weekend. She said, Olivia, if you're always trying to be enough, like innately, right? And I've learned so much about my projector as my human design, and I've learned that I really struggle with my open heart and all these things, and I never feel like enough. So I realized that if I'm always constantly striving for more than enough, like what is even enough? It's like I'm never gonna make it. I'm never gonna feel good and present and comfortable while still growing, right? Because it's never enough. It's never enough weight, it's never enough sex, it's never enough money, it's never enough clients, it's never enough whatever that might be, fill in the blank. So what I realized this weekend was that I was living in the struggle. My brain was going back to seeing zeros because I was so afraid that it's all gonna go away. Instead of, right, because that's very lack thinking, very scarcity thinking, instead of going into the abundance of, okay, well, first of all, residual client payments are coming through next week. I have nothing to fear. More is on its way, like quite literally. And B, if money is simply energy and there's always more than enough, whatever the hell enough even means, like what is that measurement? Like there's always more coming. I don't have anything to fear. Now, does this mean I just go swipe my card on all the random things that I want? No. Go back to wealth care. I've done videos on this before. It's all about how am I caring for my wealth? Is this going to raise my vibration? Is this something I am wanting to invest in right now? Is this where I want to be putting my money? Is this where I want to be putting my energy? Or is it better allotted somewhere else? You know, there's seasons for studying, there's seasons for saving, there's seasons for buying all the things you want, there's seasons for investing in all the things that you want, whatever it might be, different seasons. So I asked myself some questions that I wanted to share with you guys if you're struggling with this, right? Are you guys seeing the correlation between body dysmorphia and like bank account money dysmorphia, where I'm making more money than I ever dreamt possible in my entire life, and I still creep back into the old story of it's not enough? When I remember I could barely buy groceries 8 months ago, barely buy groceries, to now being able to have meal prepped food delivered every single week because I simply don't want to cook and I don't have the time or the energy to cook. And now I get food delivered, but it still doesn't feel like enough. So you have to tap back into gratitude and celebration and anchor into the presence, anchor into the abundance that is available, anchor into the new story of it doesn't have to be a struggle. What if struggle doesn't have to be a part of the strategy? What if I don't need a victim story to be a victor? What if I can simply choose to win here? What if I can simply choose to tap into that gratitude and celebration and realize like, oh my God, it gets to be this good and it gets to keep getting better and better and better and better, versus it having to be like, oh, well, it's good and that means it's gonna run out. Like, why do we go there? So catch yourself in these moments, and maybe yours is a different thing. Relate this to wherever in your life or business right now that makes sense for you. What if we simply chose to no longer, and call ourselves out right in that moment, no longer live in the old story? What are the old words or stories or patterns or things that you're attaching to your identity that actually don't have to be your identity? For me, for example, I knew, like in my heart, in my soul, it was like, I need to struggle to be successful. I almost have to prove it. I have to prove it that I'm able to earn money. I have to prove it that I'm not struggling. I have to work really, really hard, and I have to grit and grind and hustle and like, you know, just wring it out in order to be successful, versus like, what if success could be flowy and effortless and easy, and I could choose to believe that that's my new story. So I had to call myself out. Olivia, you're living in an old story. You are living in a story of struggle. Choose again. In that exact moment, choose again. I'm telling you, this is 5 years of growth that I will continue for the rest of my life. I will still naturally, because it's 27 years of living in that old story, it's consciously choosing a new story in that moment, saying, oh God, this doesn't feel good. Oh, I don't like this. Why am I living here? I don't have to live in here. I don't have to live in the struggle. I don't. I can choose again. I can choose a new story. I can do something different. So while I was talking to my friend Autumn, we were like, why is this so crazy? Why are we struggling with this? What would we do if we were in our power here? If I chose to go from fear and lack and not enough, and I choose a new story out of power and love and abundance, what would I do differently? And this weekend, that meant spending the money. And guess what? Client payments came in the same day. I had a new client sign up the same day who I'd been talking to for over a year about coaching. Shit still went on. Things still moved forward. Things were still coming in. And I had to choose a new story in that moment rather than choose to live in the struggle. Now again, I'm not just going and like swipe, 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 swipe on all the things. Because I actually talked to a client about this recently. She was like, okay, so money manifestation, I need to give in order to receive. So she's like, I was just buying all the things. And I was like, well, okay. Yes and no. Yes, like important, give, receive. It's a whole beautiful cycle. It's trusting and believing and knowing that it's enough. But like, what's the wealth care there? Is it just like, I want these new shoes and I want these new crystals and I want this new thing and I want this new thing? Or is it, this is going to raise my vibration. There is a return on investment available for me here because I'm investing in myself. And then, yes, okay, cool. Yes, okay, cool. I don't really need that right now. That's cool, right? It's not necessarily about like all of the things all the time, if that's making sense. So ask yourself in these moments, am I living in a new story? Am I living in an old story? What's the pattern here? Am I making these decisions and these investments out of fear or out of power and out of love? Out of abundance, out of scarcity? What isn't working here? What do I want to do differently? And then take action from the new story. The new story for me meant, yes, I'm going to get this thing. I'm going to get the new lingerie that I can wear to see my husband who I haven't seen in 9 months. And I can choose to get the mushroom coffee that is better for my adrenals than the coffee I buy at the grocery store. I'm worth it. It's going to be okay. I used to make a money receiving list. Here's my last thing I'm going to say before I go read the comments. So please, if you have questions or anything, please post them below. But I would make a money receiving list. I learned this from Ryan Yakomi when he was one of my mentors. And I would make this list of like, when I make $5,000 a month, I will buy blank. Like, here's where the money's going to go. Because money wants meaning, right? You can't just say, I want to make all this money and then wait for it. I want to make this money, here's where it's going to go. Money needs a purpose. Money wants to know where it's going. So I would make this. I said, when I make $5,000 months, I will invest in this. And it was like going to yoga, the supplements that are going to, create more vibrancy, more vitality, and invest in my health, the coach that I'm going to hire, the clothes that I'm going to wear, and stop buying, like the ratty clothes and stop wearing the same underwear with holes in them. And I'm going to buy new underwear, whatever it might be. And I realized that I've gotten now to where I'm at it's about 12K consistently residually. If I don't launch anything, it's about 12K before I pay my team and before I pay my coach, but so gross amount, right? And I still wasn't doing those things because I was still in this mindset of like, it's gonna run out or there's not enough or oh my God. And I was living in this old story rather than actually doing the thing that I told the universe I was gonna do when I got the money. Like, why would I expect to make more if I'm clenching so tight on the money that I do have and I'm believing that it's going to run out? Why would the universe give me more? Right? Do you guys see any correlation in there? Do you guys see any kind of, any part of your story in that story? Are you choosing to live in abundance or are you choosing to live in scarcity? Are you choosing to live in an old story or are you choosing a new story and constantly bringing yourself back there? Because the truth is, it's not like you just do it once and you write it on a piece of paper and then you burn it and then you're good to go, right? Oh, here I'm no longer this. I'm no longer available for this. And then I burn it and then I'm good to go. You're going to be tested. You're going to need to come back here again and again and again and do the work. Ask yourself the tough questions. Do the journaling. Do the work. Figure out what's not working here. What is? What do I want to believe? What do I no longer want to believe? What's this work here? And come back to it over and over and over again. Personal growth is a constant journey. You're never just done or enlightened enough to just be like throwing in the towel and be like, okay, well, I'm good now. You have to keep coming back to it. And I realized that this weekend. I was like, holy shit, here I go again. I'm living in the old story. I'm living in the old lack, struggle, victim mindset. And everything that I was doing in my life in that moment was all going back to that version of me. Instead of the version of me that I've worked hard to become, that I've worked hard to step into, the version of me who has decided that I'm no longer available for the struggle, I'm no longer available for XYZ, and I realized I had to say, ooh, this doesn't feel good, course correct, and choose again. Do it differently. Show up differently. How powerful is that? Like, you literally have the power to decide and to do things differently. 150%. Every single time, again and again and again. And just ask yourself what that looks like for you. Right? Isn't that what it's all about? So let me read these comments here. I was going to do it on my computer, but my tripod's in the way. Let's see. Okay. Good morning, everyone hopping on. So good to see you guys. Let's see. I still don't know what the moon in Leo means. Brittany, hi. Hey, lovely. Yes, can so relate. Amazing. Hello, Lisa. Hello. Yeah, Brittany, you and me have so many correlations in our stories for sure. Kelly says, totally makes sense. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Good. Tiffany, this is literally my life. I'm writing this email to my list literally right now. Like, what is even happening? Oh my God, we are so on the same page. I freaking love that. Autumn, Shannon. Hi, guys. Hi. Does anyone have any questions about that? It's just so interesting to me. Like, let me see if I got to all of my notes. Yeah, so are you living in an old story? That's like the biggest thing. So I had to realize when I look in the mirror and I still see the version of me before I lost the weight, or the person that didn't love herself when I looked in the mirror, or when I look at my bank account and I still see zeros even though there's much more than $0 in there, and I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna run out, oh my God. Right? I'm living in an old story. So in that moment, it's course correcting and it's saying, this doesn't feel good. This is not serving me. I don't have to stay here. And then it's choosing again. It's choosing again. It's remembering and realizing that we don't have to stay there. And even though we might slip back into old patterns or slip back into old stories or slip back into old habits, whatever that might look like, you can choose because you're conscious now. You're awake. You're alive. You're aware. You can say, ooh, I remember this. I don't have to stay here. I know how to get myself out of here. And that's doing this work. It's rewriting it. It's releasing it. It's choosing again. It's doing something differently. It's talking to a coach and figuring out, like, why do I keep ending up back here, right? Is this a pattern for you? It's, what would I do if I was in power, if I was in love, if I was in abundance? What would I do if I was in fear, scarcity, and lack and don't do those things, right? And it's asking, I love to ask myself, what would I tell my friend to do or my client to do in this situation? What advice would I give them? And then take your own advice. Because we can always give it. It's the receiving our own advice and doing the things that we say to do, right? That's so difficult every time. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. It was such an eye-opening experience this weekend of just like, oh my God, how am I ending up back here? And realizing that it doesn't matter how much money you make, doesn't matter what the scale says, doesn't matter how amazing your relationship is, or when you get to that amazing relationship, if the problems are still there at the foundation, if you still have the money mindset where you're living in lack, if you still feel like there's never enough, if you're still feeling like XYZ, if you're still, having a lot of trust issues in your marriage, it doesn't matter how amazing the sex is, the trust issues are still there. Doesn't matter how much money is in my bank account, if I'm still living in lack, that's still there. That's still subconsciously ruling the show. It doesn't matter if I finally get to 100 pounds or 120 pounds if I still feel like I hate myself on the inside, because what's at the foundation? What's underneath? More money just amplifies whatever problem's going on. More sex, better relationship just amplifies whatever's going on because you're always thinking about it, right? If you finally get to X weight but you still hate yourself, you still hate yourself when you look in the mirror. Doesn't matter what the scale, so it doesn't matter what you see in the mirror because inside you still hate yourself, right? So what stories, what pieces of you do you need to still heal? Do you need to work through? Do you need to let go and release or choose or whatever it might be so that you can build from a solid foundation? So that when you have more money, you continue to make more money. You don't self-sabotage yourself back down. You don't all of a sudden spend just as much as you're making and then end up back at zero because you don't know how to handle it, because you don't feel worthy of it, or you don't feel enough for it, or you never truly celebrate it because you're always wanting more and more and more. What has to be healed at the foundation? Where are you struggling? Maybe tell me this in the comments. Maybe I can do another video or do something for you guys around this, but what are you struggling with when it comes to money? When it comes to your money mindset, right? What are you still struggling with? Are you making the money you want to make and you're doing really damn good and you're just flying high? Amazing, celebrating you. Or are you someone who maybe has made a lot of money but just tends to run all out again? Like, where are you struggling with it? Do you feel worthy of it? Do you feel enough? Where is your disconnect? Or what is bubbling underneath the surface that's blocking you from more? From the abundance that is your birthright. Money is just energy. It doesn't matter how much money I make. No one should actually care about the money I make. It's not to be braggy. It's not to do whatever. It's to show you what's possible and to just show you through my own story. But who cares how much money I can make? You need to care about how much money you can make. And if I can make it, you can make it. And you can make more than me, 150%. Dawn says, I'm grateful for this live today. Dawn, I am so grateful for you. I keep finding myself back here in lack. It creeps back in. It totally does. It's so many years of programming. And then you go back to thinking, well, how did my mom, handle money? How did my dad handle money? How did I feel about money growing up as a child? It's all of these thoughts in our heads, just constantly swirling and swimming and kind of dictating on the outside what's happening based on what's going on in here. So it's figuring out what needs to heal, what stories do I need to rewrite. And we might find ourselves back in the old pattern, but remembering you have the power to choose again. Every time it's choosing again and it's staying there. And when you creep back down, it's choosing it again and it's becoming quicker and quicker every single time at it. Lisa says, I find myself calling in just enough, but I want more than just enough, 100%. So with this is the last thing I'll say because I do have to go get ready for a client call. Let's see, I had the biggest month in my biz this month, but I see myself still focusing on what else I need to call in to pay bills, etc. Well, congratulations on your biggest month. That's incredible. Yay. First of all, I'm going to ask you, what did you do to celebrate that? I have a bad habit, a rough tendency of constantly just being like, okay, cool, check, moving on. Check, moving on. Check, what's next? Check, I need more. And I forget to anchor into the gratitude and celebration. Hi, Autumn. Of like really being so grateful for what I have. Because like, let's be real. Think about when you give someone a gift and they suck at receiving it. And they're just like, okay, what's next? They like rip it open, they throw it to the side, and they're like, okay, what's next? Would you continue to give them gifts? Probably not, because they're a shitty receiver, and that is not fun. It's not fun. You want to like see someone light up and be like, oh my God, maybe they cry, maybe they scream, maybe they dance, whatever, and they're so excited, and you're like, you're fun to give to, I'm going to give you more. Universe, God, source, angel, spirit, whoever's your jam, same exact way. Same exact way. If you get things and you just throw it off to the side of what's next, you're not going to get more because you're not fun to give to. You're not grateful and in gratitude of really what you already have while you're still getting excited for what is to come and for more, right? Because of course goals are good to have. It's always good to get more. Yes, Dawn, I'm a shitty receiver. Your receiving is everything. How can you become a better receiver? How can you become a better receiver? Because that affects everything. And when you get good at receiving and you really tap into that gift that you have, we all have it, especially as women, we're created to receive. It's a very feminine energy piece. Then we're able to call in more and more and more because we're fun. It's like, duh, why wouldn't we get more, right? Lisa, I took a day on solely relax in celebration, but I feel called to do more to celebrate. I just can't decide what. Ooh, well, what do you love to do? What makes you really happy? What's something that you don't do enough for yourself often enough, but it's something that really lights you up when you do it? Do that. For me, it always involves champagne, but it doesn't have to be that for everybody. Let's see. Okay, so I find myself calling in just enough, but I want more than just enough. So you need to raise your energetic minimum. You might notice that, and Amanda Francis talks about this a lot, but you might find that, and I struggled with this as well, where I was always like, I just want enough. I just want enough to pay my bills. I just want to be able to pay my bills. And like, I would always just have enough. And like my energetic minimum was about 2K or so, where I was like, okay, like I will never earn less than X. And it was 2K. And then I found myself like I'd always come back to the 2K and I couldn't break that threshold. And it was really interesting. And so when I saw that, then I was like, okay, I need to raise this. So then it was like, okay, I always have more than enough. I always have more than enough. And I started to raise my energetic minimum to like, once I hit 5, then I was like, okay, 5 is my new energetic minimum. I will never drop below 5. I earn 5K consistently every single month, and I made that my new story, and I continued to put the energy and the belief behind that and really support whatever I needed to do to continue to believe in that specifically. To truly not just say it and like, okay, I wrote it in my journal this morning, check, but like embody it. Who do I need to become to make sure that I'm consistently earning $5,000 a month? From there, then I raised it. New energetic minimum, $10,000 a month. I will never earn less than $10,000 a month. And once I had done that, I showed myself it was possible. I'm like, duh, I can keep doing this. Like, I've done it before. Why can't I do it again? What do I need to do in order to have that residually happening? What else? Like, right? And really making sure you're embodying this belief system. You're embodying the things that you need to do, the woman you need to become in order to get to that income level, and really continuing to raise your energetic minimum of like, it's a no-brainer. Like, it's already done. It's impossible for me to earn less than that. But if we're just like, I want more money, please, and we find a penny on the ground, you just got more money. Why would you get more than that, you know? So it's becoming very specific about it. I don't do it in the way of like, I mean, I set income goals, but I don't necessarily set deadlines all of the time, if I'm being honest, because it messes with my head and it makes me really upset. And I'm a type A, I'm a perfectionist, so then if I missed it, then I almost beat myself up a lot. So I'm more like really embody what is that certain amount gonna feel like, and getting into the feeling of having it now. Who do I need to become? What decisions do I need to make? What investments do I need to make? What do I need to implement in order to get there? What's the part that I'm playing, right? Am I launching something? Am I creating something? Am I, whatever that might look like? And then from there, the rest is belief. It's the energetics of it. It is the God, angels, universe, get behind me. We're doing the damn thing. Like, it's already done. Duh. And if it's not today, it's tomorrow. And if it's not the next day, it's the next. Like, I don't have to worry. It's like already on its way. It's already happening. Tammy says, the universe always provides me with more than enough so I can give more to others. I love that. I love that. I love that. And that's the other thing. I struggled for a long time because I would make more money, but I would clench onto it so tight that like, why would I get more? There's nowhere to receive, right? I'm like, fists are closed. There's nowhere for it to go. So I had to open up a little bit, and I started figuring out, where can I give? Where can I invest? What do I need to do in order to keep the cycle of money flowing? For example, when I was making $0 a month, a big deal to me was once a week I would go get a fancy coffee. And I would go to Starbucks and I would spend the $5 on coffee. Did I need it? No. But it raised my vibration. It got me in this like, I'm not afraid of money. If you're afraid of money, money is afraid of you, and you're not going to earn any money. So I had to start becoming very, very, very particular with like, okay, money is simply energy. There's always more than enough. It's going to be okay. Like, I have nothing to fear. I'm not afraid. I'm always supported. I'm always safe. I always make it work. Because even in the months where we didn't know how we were going to pay for something, we always found a way to make it work. We always found, so we're already ahead of some people in the world, right? I think I read something recently, if you have like a roof over your head and heat and water or something, you're like among the 70% like wealthiest people in the world or something like that. Like, how can I anchor into gratitude in this moment, even when I was earning nothing? How can I tap back into gratitude? I feel like I'm going all the things money right now. I hope that this is helpful. Give me some love if this is helpful, because I wasn't planning on going all of the way today. But I just am like, how could I raise my vibration? How could I get in the frequency? How could I show God, angels, universe, like, I'm in this, like, I'm doing this. Oh, good, you guys are loving this. Okay, good. And then I would go get the coffee, and it was $5 a week. That raised my vibration, that made me feel luxurious, that made me feel wealthy in that moment. And I create, and it's not wealthy just in a money sense. Wealthy can mean abundance of anything, right? But it got me in this like wealthy, luxurious pleasure vibe of, I'm safe here. I'm taken care of. I am supported. It's okay. It's all working out. And I just trusted and I believed that. People literally message me. You guys are messaging me all the time of like, God, how did you blow up? I just want to be where you are. And while I want to help you get there 150%, I want to help you do it faster than it took me. Almost 5 years for me to get here. And I want to help you do it way quicker than I got to. But it takes time. But time is just a construct, right? Time isn't a real thing. It's all about alignment. But what are you doing now to get in alignment with making more money? Who are you being? Who are you becoming? What investments are you making? What decisions are you making? Have you decided, or are you living in a victim struggle story of like, there's never enough. It worked for her. It's not working for me. Well, what the hell? What am I doing wrong? And you're throwing in the towel 5 minutes before your miracle? Or are you continuing to show up every single day, even when the money's not there, but you're believing and knowing that it's just inevitable that it's going to happen? One of my mentors, she told me too this weekend, she said, Olivia, if you knew without a shadow of a doubt, without a shadow of a freaking doubt, that you were going to achieve every single goal you've ever set in your lifetime, that when you hit the grave one day, everything is done, you've achieved every goal and more than you ever thought possible, would you be so stressed about the time that it's taking to get there? Would you beat yourself up when you missed a monthly goal if you knew it was inevitable that you were going to hit it, but it's all in divine timing and it's all a greater plan and I just have to keep going? I was like, well, no, I wouldn't beat myself up. I would keep going. Hell yeah. Why do we put so much pressure on time? Why do we allow time to warp us? Why do we allow time to work against us when time was created by man simply to make sense of things, but it actually has nothing to do with it? If time made sense, if time was a real thing that mattered in terms of being successful, I would tell you, okay, it's going to take you 4 years and however many months and days to hit your first 10K month. So then why are there people that have done it in 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years? Why are there people that have been doing this as long as me that are making multiple 6 figures at this point? It's because time doesn't matter. It's all about alignment. It's all about who we're becoming in the process. It's all about really making sure that all the pieces are in place, that we're able to receive that amount of money. If you would have given me $10,000 months 3 years ago, I wouldn't have known what to do with it, and I would have spent it before I even got anywhere, because I was always focused on more and always focused on what was next, and I had growth that I needed to do in order to be the woman that was ready to receive that kind of money and care about it and treat it with care and treat it with love, treat it with an abundant mindset, treat it with the idea that there's always more. It never runs out. It's gonna be okay, even when it feels like it's not. I am safe, I am supported, and it's all gonna work out exactly as it's meant to. How would you show up differently if you truly embodied those beliefs? How would you show up differently if you knew your goals were inevitable? That duh, they're gonna happen. Duh, it's already done. When my clients come to me, I already know you're gonna hit your goals. Will it be when we're working together? I sure hope so. I can't wait to celebrate that with you. But even if it's 6 months after we're done working together and you finally hit that goal, that's exciting. We're celebrating that. Duh, like I literally blink and I'm here, and the last 4.5 years I'm just like, what the hell even just happened? Me and my friend Autumn talk about this all the time. What just happened the last 4.5 years? Like what happened the last 8 months? It like blows my freaking mind. It blows my mind. And I'm just like, oh my God, why was I so stressed and why was I so worried? When now I'm here and I'm just like, ooh, okay. And now I get to help other people get here. Like, duh. Why are we so stressed and worried all the time? Like, chill, it's happening. Trust, believe, know, embody from that space of knowing. Do you guys love this topic? Do you guys love talks about money? I feel like you guys really like money. Good morning, Kara. Good morning. So, Shauna, I seriously needed to hear this today. Absolutely. I love you so much. So freaking much, you guys. If you have questions specifically about this, please post them below. I have to go because I have to take my dog out before an afternoon of client calls, but I wanted to make sure to come and share that with you guys today, because you need to make sure when you're looking in the mirror, when you're looking in your bank account, when you're looking at your relationship, what pieces still need to be healed? What new stories do we need to choose? What old stories do we have to let go of? What mindset are we in? Are we in power? Are we in fear? Are we in love? Are we in scarcity? Where are we coming from with this? And what beliefs have to shift in order for us to be ready to receive and practice your receiving? A lot of you said you were shitty receivers. I love you guys. I see you. I was one as well. Message me. I can send you a couple podcast episodes we've done on this. But just know, like, it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to live in victim. You don't have to live in struggle. You can choose again, right? And that's what matters. So, thank you so much, Dawn, for sharing this. I love you. Appreciate you. So let me know what questions you guys have regarding this, and I'll go live. I'm going to try to go live again this week. If you guys saw yesterday my post, I lost my VA, and I'm like really sad because we were like a dynamic duo, but now I'm just a one-woman show. So I'm trying to keep up with everything as best I can. I definitely work better in a team environment when I have someone to help with all of the things. So if you guys know a VA, message me, let me know. I've got a couple interviews set up this week, and I just want to find that perfect woman that's going to help me grow this business and continue to be able to show up for you guys and serve you and love you, and celebrate you and hold so much space for you. So I'll be back hopefully this week. If not, I have a good live for you guys next week. And I would love to hear what questions you want me to cover, so make sure to let me know. But I love you. Thank you for being here with me. Thanks for riding along the total random riffs and kind of different alleyways we went down today. I hope this was helpful. Make sure to share it with a friend if you feel like this would help them as well. Tammy says just give yourself grace. Giving myself all the grace. Trust me, last night I curled up with a glass of champagne. I watched Arrow, all the fun things. Like, I totally relaxed last night, and this morning I talked to my husband while I drank my coffee and feeling really good. I've got a really good flow, but there's just a lot of stuff that it's just not my zone of genius, like the admin type stuff, and I much prefer working with someone who can take care of all of that. So, and all in due time. It's all happening for a reason. I fully believe that. But I love you guys. Thank you for being here, and I will see you guys hopefully this week. Otherwise, next week. You know where to find me if you need me in the meantime. Bye, guys.